They tell a story of a man who came to a dinner, and the speaker got up to speak. 5 minutes past, 10, 15, 20, half an hour, 45 minutes, and the man gets up and walks out. So the speaker said, "Are you walking out of my speech?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Why?" "I'm going to take a haircut." He said, "Now you have to take a haircut?" He said, "I didn't need one when I came in," he said. I'm telling you this because, we have like Bomo coming up, when you take a haircut. And this year it's even better because it's Sunday, you can take a haircut on Friday. So there's a lot of time between now and Friday. In all seriousness, I'm not quite sure how to address you. Friends, family, mishpacha, congregational members, community friends, but there's Kol Yisrael Chaverim, everyone. It's precious and important to us. I want to take this opportunity to thank the committee. Debbie and Jeff Weintraub, who chaired it, Morty and Susan Goldstein, who have made many of the arrangements, including the journal, Susan Rosenfeld and Bob, the ever-present, ever-hardworking secretary, Darren Gold Edelstein of the Young Merits, David Englander, who's busy in every part of the shul, Joseph Poplak, a former president, now a vice president of the National Council, and the indefatigable Danny Mora, president of the shul, and so many others. I have a lot of notes here, but as I'm standing, each one gets discarded. So my wife says to me, I looked at the notes, she said, "Don't speak from the notes, speak from your heart." And that is what I want to do for a few minutes. I want to share with you one or two reflections. In the beginning, I'd like to thank the Orthodox Union, an organization that is vital to the Jewish life of the community, for this wonderful presentation that was made by Simcha Katz and by my dear friend for many years, Julius Berman and Harvey Blitz. We have one thing in common, which is important to us all. We are all Talmidim of the Rav, including the immediate past president, Steve Savitsky. That's very important to me. I can only thank you for the symbolism of the presentation. And I'm sure that the Rav would have been pleased that it was made tonight. So I want to tell you a little story that happened to me with the Rav Zatzal. I came here from England, where I had studied under Rabbi Abramsky and Rabbi Lapian. We learned, in the evening I went to college, during the day we went to the yeshiva, not to the delight of the Rosh Yeshiva, we managed to hide it from him, but we did. So I come to America, and my father said to me, "Be sure that you get into the Shir of Soloveitchik." I said, "Yeah, I will try." He said, "Number one, try, you've got to do it." I never met him, said my father, but I read some of his articles, some of his shiurim. This is where you have to go. All right, to Dr. Belkin, and I was placed in the shir of David Lifshitz Zatzal and the Rav. We're learning a very difficult Gemara, Masechtas Nidin. I had no idea what was flying. No idea what was going on in the Shia. I wasn't used to this kind of a Shia. In the afternoon after the Shia, the Rav says to me, come and see me in my apartment. I want to get to know you better. All right? I come into his apartment, and he's sitting in his mother's apartment, those who remember, and he was reading the Allgemeine Journal, the Tagmor Journal, whatever, and talking to me while he was reading. I said, YIKGH, what kind of interview is this going to be? And he reads and says to me, I want to get to know you a little better. Who are you? Your mishpacha. And he heard that I was the son-in-law of the late Rabbi Jacobowitz from Berlin. He said, oh, mean you're a YIKGH? I said, not necessarily, just married into a YIKGH family. And you have any letters of recommendation? I took the letter which Rav Abramsky had given me to give to Rav David Lifshitz. And sitting and reading, and he's smiling. He said, Fashilach, it's a good letter. A lerner kennt der euch, is it? Since those days, the Rav has become part of our life. So I'm grateful to the Orthodox Union that the presentation was made by those who had a deep influence upon, influenced by Rav Soloveitchik Zatzal. Well, what is the function of the rabbinate? It's not going to be a long lecture, don't worry. How did I look upon this? As you saw from the video which my brother made and appeared in, I can only say my brother, Ki Anoshim Achim Anachno. I always wondered what was the word Anoshim doing there, the pasuk. Achim Anachno, we are brothers. What is Anoshim Achim? Because with Zayna Bruder Menschlich, part of the human race. Not you're related to me because we're the same parents. We are Anoshim together, men together. I owe my brother a great deal, both in Refuas HaNefesh and Refuas HaGuf. But you got some idea of our childhood in Vienna. And when I came here to the United States, I started learning yeshiva. I did not go to the college part of Yeshiva University. I already had graduated from the University of London. So I was purely yeshiva. I was interviewed by Dr. Belkin, Zechron Levrocha, and he said, all right, we'll place you in the shir of David Lifshitz, maybe Rav Soloveitchik. And I'm sitting there. And Dr. Belkin, those who knew him, who remember him, yes, what else? I said, we haven't discussed tuition. He said, tuition? We don't charge tuition for the Torah and the yeshiva. We charge for the college, which maybe makes up for the Hebrew as well. But no, so I went officially for 3 years to the yeshiva of YIKGH without paying a single penny tuition. Because this is the philosophy of the yeshiva. So I was very delighted to get this award from the Orthodox Union by those wonderful gentlemen who did me the honor of giving it to me. What really is the function of a Rav? You heard many things here tonight, all of them exaggerated. You know, years ago you paid for a gallon of gas 17 cents. Today it's $5. The same applies to Shvachim. Today Shvachim are inflated and they represent the, I say to my children, Sheli v'shelachem shalah belongs to the woman sitting to my left. And this is why I'm grateful to the Rabbi Shalom. And whatever success we may have had is because we are together. Like Rachel supported Rabbi Akiva, that support was given to me and to the congregation. The only thing I remain a little doubtful, the gift that I got tonight, and how happy she's going to be. Another book in the house? Where am I going to put it? Now you got me, get a gift, 5 books in the house? What are you going to do with them? I said, no, I'm taking them to shul. And it reminds me, you may remember we had a secretary in those years. Her name was YIKGH. Some of you may remember her. And she loved buying dresses. And she had a husband who, like Danny Murrah, worked for the police department, except Danny makes the life of cops miserable in this position in the commissioner's office. And YIKGH was a sergeant. And he didn't like the idea of buying dresses all the time. So she'd bring a dress to the office and say, Rabbi, I'm going to put it in your closet. And I said, in my closet? Yeah, speak to Lottie, she'll understand. And then I would come home slowly, bring the dress, and Lenny would say, where does this come from? Oh, from the Rabbi's house. You know? This is the truth. Unfortunately, YIKGH is not well these days. But this is, I am the Havdil, the Svarim in my house. Another book, another magazine, you don't read them anyway. You have so I need volunteers to keep the books in your house. But in all seriousness, the books are the lifeline of my life. Books, Svarim, and this edition of Sfas Emes is very, very important. It's the original edition, and my whole spiritual life has been based basically upon 4 pillars. One, my father's Zechrono Livrocha, the people here will remember him. Samuel Apata certainly will. The Samuel Apata and I, unless I'm mistaken, the Shiore Anshe Knesset Agdolo, when we started the shul with 11 families. And my father insisted on studying, learning, writing. He was very proud of my brother and myself. Ich habe ein Sinn a doctor and ein Sinn a Rov. He used to say, the Rav can nicht kein medicine, the doctor versteht er krank, he said, but he was very proud of us, my father, the The second, of course, is, not in that order, is Rav Soloveitchik Zatzal. I cannot imagine what life would have been like for me in the rabbinate without the Rav and his influence, and through his influence upon you as well. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss him. Then, of course, Reb Schonfeld Hirsch, our friend and colleague in the neighborhood, Rabbi Eilbaum, called me to wish Mazel Tov. He couldn't be here because he's leaving this afternoon to go to Germany and Hungary and Austria to visit the YIKGH Tzadikim. And he's going to Frankfurt, and I said to him, please bring me back a picture of Reb Schonfeld Hirsch's Matzeva. He says, of course, what kind of question? Reb Schonfeld Hirsch, I'm not giving you a lecture about him now, but you heard me speak about him often enough. That was the Torah of the Eretz, the Torah of Mother. That is upon which I based my life. And then, of course, the Sfas Emes. Not enough is spent on understanding who the Sfas Emes was and who YIKGH Hasidim are. So these are the pillars by which I base my spiritual life. My father, Rav Schonfeld Hirsch, Sfas Emes, and when I first came to this country, the Young Israel movement. I fell in love with it. I saw them on the campuses. I saw them building kosher kitchens at the various universities. Things have changed a little bit. But these were the principles upon which I based my spiritual life. And for this I'm grateful to Hashem. And this is how I try to be in the Rabbanus. And finally, the Chesed. Chesed is not something that you're naturally born with. You have to practice this. The Rav will tell us about his grandfather, Reb Chaim, who said when he will pass on his Matzeve, it should say simply one thing. Reb Chaim, Reb Yosef Dov HaLevi, Ish HaChesed. And he would say, very often the Rav would quote it. He said, Ich bin by natur, I'm not about chesed, I'm not a good person. Ich habe doch always gelernt to be about chesed. You can teach it, and you can learn it, and you can adopt it. So these are the things that I wanted to tell you. And finally, whatever retirement may mean, I'm not quite sure what that's meant by this. It's a good English word. We had a mishpacha in Lodge, and Mr. Fisher remembers the entire family coming from Lodge. The Eisner family, Avraham Eisner. Avraham Eisner was a very wealthy man, very rich man. At the age of 60, he decided he made enough money. I don't need any more. He's going to retire. He went to the Imre Emes, this was Emes' son, the Rabbi. He said, Rabbi, I'm going to stop working. I'm going to retire. He says, what are you going to do? You retire. What are you going to do? I learn. Spend my time learning. So the Rabbi says to him, Avram, du weißt, ich habe fight Ledigayas. You know, I don't like loafers. I loaf around, do nothing. Go back to work, he said. So people have ideas. Many of my colleagues here are retired. Rabbi Slodowski, our dear Mechutten, Rabbi Rosenzweig, they know how to retire. So I don't know what it means, but I knew one thing. It's that the time has come of Shirul of Hashem Shir Chodesh, a new approach, new ideas, new vistas. And these are being entrusted into the hands of our dear son and daughter-in-law, Rabbi Yoel and Perry. It's interesting. David HaMelech wanted to build a Beis HaMikdash. It's mentioned in 3 places in Tanakh. In Shmuel Beis, and it's mentioned in Divrei Yamim, and mentioned in Melachim. What did Hashem say to David? Rak lo ato tivne bais. You will not build a house. Ki im bincha yotzeh mechalotzecha, the son that comes from your loins. And I'm wondering, looking at the pasuk, if Hashem did not want David HaMelech to put the final touch on the Beis HaMikdash, why did he say to him, Rak ata, only this, not you? Why not you? I think what it means is, Rak ata, if it's only you that wants to build, you want to do it all by yourself, Lo tivna, you can't do this. If you hand over to somebody that's worthy, different story. Rak ata, just by yourself you can't do this. So I'm handing over some of my, activities. Always been active in those a long time before that. And we know that under his guidance, his leadership, that he will evoke in you the understanding, the cooperation, what is needed to make Young Israel Kudos Hills be what it is. And a final word of thanks to the administration. From the days of Mary Annette Saperstein, Aleichem Hashalom, whose children are with us here tonight, Diane and her husband Jerry, and Sandy and Zev, and Dr. Louis Saperstein and his wife are here tonight. Because whatever we are, we owe to that family. And the Women's League, Mary was the first president. From that time until the present time, headed by 2 ladies who worked so hard, Rebecca Wittert and Esther Steinemann. They will continue to prosper. I know the time has come when there'll be changes in the shul, in the administration. One day, Danny will get tired finally. And I ask all of you to give them your cooperation, your understanding, to make Young Israel, YIKGH Hills, what it has been made to be and what it is. And thank you, Debbie and Jeffrey. And thank you for Susan, who is the engine that drives the office. And Debbie has now gone back to her first love and her first profession, but worked for many years for us. Thank you for that too. I cannot conclude without starting with a joke. Not a joke, but it's a true story. Jeffrey, Debbie's husband, is a dentist. The other day tells her that he works in Williamsburg in a clinic. And one of the patients from Williamsburg comes, he hears him speak about enamel. Enamel, I don't want an animal in my mouth. I don't want any of this. No animal. So there's fun in there too. So again, thanks. And now the effort that went into this dinner tonight. May we be zocher to be mikar kabel, b'shir tzedkenu. Amen b'me'or.